Welcome to Modern Day Masterpiece. My name is Caleb, and I'm joined by my good friend Josh. How you doing? How you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing all right, Caleb. Can't complain. Thanks for having me.
If you have eyes that can read, the topic of today is Oscar talk, controversy, snubs, and predictions. Something just happened.
Something just happened here in the studio.
So there's a good chance we're going to talk about the Oscars. We're going to talk about the controversy and the snubs and our own predictions, and with a little bit of stuff thrown in between, some fun stuff. We don't want to waste too much time here. We don't want to waste the audience time too much.
We've already wasted 1 minute and 47 seconds of our life.
We like to get character development, like a movie we watched yesterday that had a lot of character development.
What did it? We'll get to that.
Now we'll talk about that.
We'll get to that.
But let's just get started. We're going to talk about 8. We're going to talk about some categories, particularly 8 categories. And I'll bring up another category eventually, but I don't think it needs to be talked about because it's bogus.
Okay.
But we'll get started here. We'll get started off with an easy one, but a cool one. I think cinematography should always be talked about because cinematography makes a movie look beautiful. And let's talk about cinematography. What are the nominations for Best Cinematography?
All right, cinematography. The nominees are Blade Runner 2049, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Mudbound, and The Shape of Water.
Okay. Well, how many of these have you seen, Josh?
I've seen 3 of the 5.
I've seen 4 of the 5. We missed Darkest Hour. It was playing at our theater. Mm-hmm. We just missed it. Played there for like a week.
Yeah, played there for like a week.
But I've seen Mudbound. It's a Netflix movie. First off, what do you? It's pretty obvious what's going to win this.
Here's the thing about Mudbound. The thing about Mudbound is that I've seen a trailer for at least Darkest Hour, so I can get an idea of what the cinematography is like. I have not heard of Mudbound.
You'd either have to be on YouTube a lot or get on Netflix a lot.
Well, and, I don't do that.
I suppose you don't do neither of those things, and I do both of those things a lot. And I watched the movie, but I think this is an easy one to predict.
I know Mudbound's going to win.
What do you think is going to win, Josh?
Blade Runner 2049, no question.
Blade Runner. If anything, I just threw in this topic just because I want to talk as much about Blade Runner 2049 as I can because I think it probably deserved even more credit than it got.
I can agree.
But
with that.
It's going to win easily, and if it doesn't, this is Dunkirk was nominated, right?
Yeah, Dunkirk was nominated for cinematography.
Which Dunkirk was the second best out of those, but if Dunkirk wins, it'll be
Twitter will go abuzz.
It'll be awful. Happen. It'll be the worst thing ever.
Talk about how Blade Runner 2049 got robbed.
2049 has the best cinematography I've ever seen in a movie, and it's Roger Deakins' like 15th or 14th nomination, and he hasn't won one time. And he did like
that sounds like highway robbery.
He did like Sicario, and
God.
He did like a bunch of the Coen Brothers movies. He did like Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He did, if anything, the movie wasn't great, but he did the cinematography for the Coen Brothers movie last year. What was it? Hail Caesar?
Hail Caesar.
The cinematography was great in this. So
I think Hail Caesar is underrated, but that's just me. So.
It's not underrated. It has like an 85 on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, but it has like a 40,
okay, maybe not underrated, underappreciated. It
has like a 43 audience score.
Let's say that.
I like the movie. I just don't think it's one of their best movies. But the cinematography is it's undeniably amazing in that movie. But we both agree Blade Runner is going to run away with this. Like,
well, let's hope.
If it doesn't, then that's just injustice to the highest degree.
Because that whole movie is one like futuristic.
It has a good story and good characters and good everything. So it should be nominated for more. But who's who to say?
Too, but
we're gonna in each of these categories we're gonna do a fun little thing at the end of each one. I'm saying if we could take out one and put one in, what would it be? So. I know you haven't seen Mudbound, so I guess you can't say.
No, I took it out. I took it out.
You haven't seen Mudbound or Darkest Hour.
Right, but like I said, I've seen a trailer for Darkest Hour, so I kind of have a general idea of how that movie would be shot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. But Mudbound I've never even heard of. So
it's a movie. It exists.
You think, and apparently it's nominated for Best Cinematography.
Nominated for a few things.
Apparently.
But if you could take one out and put it in a movie, what would it be?
So I would take out Mudbound, simply for the fact that I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
It's cheating, but okay.
How's it cheating?
Yeah, you can do it.
And I would put in Mother.
Mother? Oh, shoot. I didn't even think of that.
I would put in Mother for the simple fact that movie's last 10-15 minutes, the way that it is shot.
10-15? I'm thinking the last 25
minutes. Well, this is a spoiler alert for anyone that's
seen it. It's not really. Unless you're going to say something super spoilery.
Oh, it's super spoilery.
Okay.
Super spoilery. So we're going to give you like a little 5-second thing here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Caleb, you can put on that where you can skip to get past the spoiler.
Whatever.
But
I'm probably not going to.
from the shocking death scene until the last 30 seconds of that movie is just shot.
What shocking death scene are we talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
Not the one.
The one.
There's a lot of deaths happening at the end of that movie.
The shocking death scene at the very end of the movie, which just escalates this whole freaking movie.
I'd say even before that, with some of the shots, how it's showing like war.
That's
happening.
what I'm talking about. That whole segment.
That happens before.
Oh, it
the
happens
death
before.
Scene.
Okay.
The death scene is the top. That tops. That's at the end of that.
Okay, so
then at the
everything
end,
that comes before that, from about 15 or 20 minutes before that segment,
it's crazy.
Is insanely shot, and it's just in your face.
It's one of those things that like. It wouldn't be crazy if Darren Aronofsky was nominated for Best Director, but instead he got nominated for Worst Director at the Razzies, which is bogus.
So the Razzies can kiss my ass. I'm sorry.
They're full of it, man. Like,
sorry.
that was literally like a publicity stunt.
That was a publicity stunt, exactly.
Because there's so many other movies, like The House. If you'd seen
Wish
The House...
Upon was not nominated for anything!
I'm glad, because that movie's amazing.
Oh my God! Was not nominated for anything!
But that's a good... cinematography and Mother was outstanding, but if I had to take out one...
It's such a bogus thing. I'm sorry, the Razzies just got on my nerves this year.
But I would also take out Mudbound because I've seen it, and it looks really good for like 80% of the movie, but I think the budget shows because it is a Netflix movie,
right.
And sometimes it doesn't look that great. And I would put in...
Well, you got to put all your money down on what that one movie was with Will Smith. You got to put all your money on that. Bright. You got to put all your money in on. You got to put chips in that basket.
That movie sucks, but I would
Excuse me.
I would take out Mudbound and I'd put in a movie that we just watched yesterday called Hostels. Because the movie,
I can see that.
It's 135 minutes long of pure cinematography.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of horse riding.
It's sort of like The Revenant.
A lot of horse riding.
But if you thought The Revenant was boring, The Revenant is like John Wick compared to Hostels. But
Hostels is the slowest burn film of last year.
Hostels is beautiful landscape shots. It looks like it's all shot on like location, or from what I can tell, there doesn't seem to be any like sets.
No.
And it really takes you back to the late 1800s. But I don't have many major gripes with this category. I would just I would have liked to seen a little bit of Hostels love because it seemed like the kind of movie that would get nominated for Oscars, but it got none. So yeah, let's move on to a really awesome category that has some surprises in it, and that's Best Visual Effects. What are the nominees for Best Visual Effects?
The Best Visual Effects nominees are Blade Runner 2049, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which was shocking to me. No, let me take that back. This next one was shocking. Kong Skull Island, I never in a million years thought I'd see a King Kong movie get nominated for visual effects that wasn't Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi and War for the Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes.
So I predicted the day before Oscars that because nobody else was for whatever reason that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was going to get nominated. I was like, why is nobody predicting? Because there's some like incredible.
There's some
incredible visual effects in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Like the first one had a really good effects, but this one like raised the bar so much. It has the best visual effects of any MCU movie, I think. In terms of like, it has some cartoonish.
The opening shot is amazing, and how young they can make.
It's the best.
Kurt Russell.
It's the best usage of that I've seen, and it's
they
getting better all the time.
They took what they did in Civil War with Robert Downey Jr. making him younger, but then they just like threw the budget at this one, and it was just like, all right, we got to make this look really good.
Yeah,
and
it's almost as good as Patrick Stewart's in X3. That was a joke. Because that was awful. But I predicted that it was going to get nominated. Because like, why wouldn't it? It's like, why on earth would it not get nominated? And it did because it deserved it. It's not going to win. It stands no chance of winning, but it's very good, and I'm glad to see a comic book movie in there. Now, Kong. If I have an Oscar reaction video, live reaction, I'll lose my mind whenever that's getting nominated. I'm like, what? Kong? And the effects are really good in Kong Skull Island. It's just but that came out in March, and that movie's so goofy and dumb.
It's a very.
I don't like the movie. It's just goofy, and I'm not upset that it got nominated. I think
it's cool that it did, but there was like a few other movies that should have got nominated.
Clearly, this is a two-way race.
It's a two-way race. Yeah.
Two-way race
between Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy. You're right.
Yes, I didn't even mention Star Wars. The effects are good, but it has a couple of like kind of bad effects in it. It's not going to win. Also, but there's a two-way race between War for the Planet of the Apes and Blade Runner 2049. And
are we going to have our first debate? Because I know what one you picked.
Well, I know what should win. But if the other one wins, I would not be that upset. But it would just be a shame. Because I think War for the Planet of the Apes has the best visual effects I've ever seen in a movie.
So you pick War for Planet of the Apes?
I'm not sure if I predict it. I just want it to win.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like Blade Runner has quite a few nominees that they might throw it a bone and give it this.
Yeah.
And if it does, like, you know what? Blade Runner probably has, like, the second best special effects I've ever seen in a movie. I look at it
from the perspective of visual effects. When I think visual effects, I know everyone's like, will disagree with this, but when I think visual, I think of things that are not backdrops. I think visual effects as in things that actually move on the screen, things that characters and things like that as a visual effect.
Like War for the Planet of
the Apes. Like War for Planet of the Apes, which is why I'm picking War for Planet of the Apes to win.
I want it to... It's hard to predict, honestly.
Because because here's the thing. Other than the soldiers, everything in that film is computer generated. Everything.
And there's never really a moment where I'm like, that's not real.
And in Blade Runner, most of the computer generated CGI stuff is backgrounds. It's backgrounds and prop pieces, not actual characters, which is why I'm rooting so much for War for Planet of the Apes.
Still looks pretty flawless, though.
Oh, yeah. I'll take nothing away from that movie.
That's why I want it to win.
It's beautiful.
That's why I want it to win cinematography, definitely.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Because it has the better cinematography than War for the Planet of the Apes, but everything in War for the Planet of the Apes is so grounded. It's technology, like, raising the bar. And I'm like, good luck to the next big blockbuster that has big-time CG effect. Good luck to Infinity War having as good of effects as this. This is just... And it's been good. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was really good effects. Still a little bit shaky. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, incredible effects. Got robbed. Interstellar beat it. Yeah. And this year, I'm like, if another sci-fi movie beats my apes, because this is the movie that I love very much. Like, if this would have gotten nominated for like Best Picture, I'd be like, yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I do think Apes is going to win because it hasn't won yet. But yeah, that is my prediction as well. Well, if we take one out and put one in though. What would you take? What would you do?
I did first last time. Go ahead.
What would I take out? I'd take out. Yeah, this is a tough one because I think they kind of nailed it. Essentially, like, I'm surprised Dunkirk didn't get nominated, but I guess the practical effects, they wanted to lean more towards visual. Yeah. The digital effects and stuff.
I bet my movie just like Mother, you didn't think of it.
I was gonna say I would take out. Just to be controversial, I'd take out Star Wars. And I'd put in Valerian.
Holy shit!
I'd put in Valerian. Because, man, there's some stuff in that movie.
Just to stop you real quick, I would take out Skull Island and put in Valerian.
Okay.
Because I think Valerian is like the fifth element on crack.
I think Star Wars has better effects than Skull Island, but I think it's so cool that Skull Island got nominated, so I'm going to keep that in there.
Okay, all right. We can go with that.
Because Star Wars got a couple other nominations, and Skull Island didn't get anything.
But I'd go with Valerian. Seriously, Valerian was like, visually, was amazing.
It's amazing.
It wasn't a great movie.
No, it's a goofy. It's balls.
And Dane DeHaan and oh god, brain lapse. Her name,
Claire Zero Chemistry is her name.
Cara
Delevingne.
Yes. Just no chemistry whatsoever.
When Rihanna as a shape-shifting stripper is the best character in the movie. Yeah. But honestly, just for like the first 10 minutes alone, that opening sequence where like it's showing like everybody, it's showing like not world peace, but like galaxy peace, people showing up with other aliens, and it's playing This is ground control to Major Tom.
So I mean, like,
it's playing that, and I'm like, this is like an amazing short visual film.
Yeah,
and just for that alone, I was like, man, that should get a nomination for that alone.
I agree. It was I believe Valerian went very under the radar, and had it been an actual better movie, it would have got nominated.
And it didn't make any money.
And it didn't make any money at all. It
was like
fifth in the box office.
Didn't break any box office records, but it made some money.
It made some good money for March.
And Star Wars made a little bit too.
Yeah.
Not as much as what they wanted.
But not Blade Runner. Blade Runner didn't make shit.
And War for the Planet of the Apes didn't make as much as they wanted either. So that just shows, like good luck getting smart blockbusters from here on out, because I think Blade Runner and War for the Planet of the Apes sort of ruined that because they didn't make the money.
Yep.
And it's just a shame. But let's move on to adapted screenplay.
I apologize for this coughing.
Adapted screenplay.
Sorry.
You don't have to say the names of the people of the writers.
Yes, thank
apparently
God.
we can't pronounce the names very well, but you can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, come over here and say this one.
I know James Mangold got nominated, but what are the movies that got nominated for best adapted screenplay?
Best adapted screenplay nominees are Call Me by Your Name, The Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and Mudbound.
So I know you've only seen 2 of these.
Yeah. You've only seen three of them.
3 of them.
4 of them. You've seen 4 of them. You saw Call Me By Your
Oh,
Name,
yeah, I've
right?
seen 4 of them. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, you're right.
I'm so glad you have so much time to watch all of these.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it on Christmas Eve, I remember.
Oh, my God.
But, this is, first off, before we get into predictions and, like, taking out a movie, this is a landmark for comic book movies.
I agree.
Because there's never been a comic book... Not a comic book movie, because the movie Ghost World got nominated, which is a comic book movie, technically. But there's never been a superhero movie get nominated for its writing. Mm-hmm. And I can name one reason why a good reason why this got nominated. It's because it doesn't say the name Wolverine in the title. And whenever they send out screeners... Like, they probably went out of their way to show, like, hey, this isn't a superhero movie. This is a Western about people getting older and dying, and it's the end of their rope. So you look at the name Logan, and there's a lot of... Probably when they send out a lot of stuff to the, like, Academy voters, they probably don't watch a lot of these movies. They judge it strictly by, like, the letter that they get with the movie.
Which is sad.
It is sad. Which we'll get into animated here in a little bit, but which plays a huge role into that. But Logan got nominated, and I do think it is the best comic book superhero movie ever, and I'm really glad it got nominated.
It got at least one nomination.
Yeah, because I definitely think Patrick Stewart should have got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. We'll talk about that later, but it's just amazing that this movie got nominated. And there was talks of Wonder Woman getting nominated, and it's like that's cool and all, but did we forget about Logan in March?
Yeah.
And how that movie was so amazing.
Yeah.
And the writing is good, and it's a borderline perfect movie. I have 1 or 2 gripes, and that's it. It's a very good movie, and I'm very glad to see that it got nominated for at least 1 Oscar. But if you had to, I know you've only seen 2 of these movies, but if you had to make a prediction, what was going to win? Because I know dang well it's going to win this.
I would say I would go with The Disaster Artist just by what I've seen. Yes, because that from what you've told me, after actually listening to the book and hearing and going and watching the film, there's a lot of stuff in it that is eerie, similar to.
They left out a lot of stuff.
Well,
you that would have made the movie.
Fit it into a 2-hour movie.
Literally, if the movie was like 2.5 hours long, and a better director. Because that's not a slight on James Franco, but he's not an amazing director.
Right.
If you would have got like a really good director with this screenplay, like they properly adapted it for the movie. But to really properly adapt that book, like it would have been a true masterpiece. It would have been crazy. It would have been a horror movie at times, but I don't think that's going to win. Because Call Me By Your Name is definitely going to win this.
Well, I mean, it could. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it, but it's... The reason why I say this is because I don't think it's going to win anything else.
It's possible.
And it's got nominated for this, and it's getting... like these reviews it's getting is like crazy good. And I've just seen so much praise about the screenplay.
But what would you give it to?
What would I give it to?
What would you give it to? You think Call Me By Your Name is going to win, but what would you give it to?
You know what? It's between the Disaster and Logan. Definitely not Mudbound. Because I have issues with Mudbound.
Because we were going to actually say that.
I have a few issues with Call Me By Your Name. But I'd give it to The Disaster Artist. Because I think writing-wise and like dialogue-wise, it has the best and sharpest dialogue, and it's funny.
I would like to see that, and I just said The Disaster Artist will win, but now that I think about it, it probably won't just because of James Franco. I don't see the disaster.
Anything to do with the
it doesn't
writing,
matter. It doesn't matter.
But he did bring the movie into fruition.
Exactly.
It was his brainchild. He wanted to bring this in.
I just can't see it winning anything just for that.
It's not going to win any. It's probably like the second or third runner-up.
Probably.
But the Call Me By Your Name is going to win because it is a critical darling, and it's this. Honestly, it's a unfascinating story. Honestly, like there's not any story like really at all. It's more of just a mood movie. But it's going to win. There's no doubt about that. So that's kind of a boring category. Now, original screenplay is a category that I think is the best category, and maybe
we didn't do our takeouts and put-ins though.
Takeout and put-ins on adapted.
Yeah, you said to do that.
Yeah, so okay. Okay, you go first. Then. Okay, I did the last one.
I again, I'm going to take out Mudbound because I know nothing about it.
It's not a dumb idea. Take it out.
And I'm going to put in It.
Oh shoot!
Yes, I'm going to put in It because that was widely regarded as the best Stephen King adaptation in a long
In a
time.
long time. Even
In a
though
long
arguably there was a
time.
better adaptation just this year on Netflix called
I
Gerald's
know.
Game.
It's called
Gerald's Game.
It's called The Dark Tower. I know, right?
Oh yeah, that too.
Uh,
No, but no, it. I love it.
I mean,
It was amazing. I would have loved to see a couple of Oscar nominations for it. And I really loved that. I've seen that movie 4 times. And I still have the same issues with it that I always have, but it's such fun that I almost don't care. Do not care at all. And the writing is good. The writing is very good for the kids.
oh wow!
Like they're very good. You just die.
I moved and I popped like all over the place.
Man, I didn't even think. Honestly, I didn't even prepare for this one for whatever reason. But if I off the cuff,
Good job.
I'd take out Mudbound as well. Because I haven't seen. Did Darkest Tower get nominated? Not Darkest Tower, but Darkest Hour get nominated for
this.
Yeah.
No.
What
No,
was
it
the
was
other
just
one?
Call Me by Your Name, Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and
Oh,
Mudbound.
I haven't seen Molly's Game.
Yeah.
Which is Aaron Sorkin. That might win. Aaron Sorkin, West Wing. But I'd take out Mudbound, and I would put in.
Adapted.
Adapted, huh?
For me, it was a toss-up between that and American Made. So
American Made, really?
yeah, because American Made's based on a true story. So
Mother, based off the Bible. No,
it's
that was a joke.
kind of true.
It was a joke.
Kind of true.
I'd put in War for the Planet of the Apes. Just because I think
What's it adapted from?
it's adapted from Planet of the Apes. It's a property.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. You're. I think you're fishing the bottom of the barrel there.
No.
But
If you look up like nominee predictions, like it would be put into the adapted category.
That's fine, but
It would be put into the adapted category.
I
It doesn't have to
agree.
be from a book.
I know. Just to me,
That's like Whiplash.
a book
Whiplash was a
or a story.
Whiplash
Whiplash
was an adapted screenplay from Damien Chazelle's short film Whiplash from a couple years before that. So
Okay.
if it's based off something that came before that,
Okay,
it's adapted.
All right,
I'm just saying
gotcha.
what the people are saying. People,
Okay, got
but it stood no chance. But I think it'd be cool to get another Apes nomination.
Stab me.
So let's move on to original screenplay, which I think is the best category.
Original screenplay. Nominees are The Big Sick, Get Out, Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
This is an incredible.
I wouldn't be mad if any of these won. I can't be.
Me neither. I think like
I cannot be mad if any
and
of
it's
them
a
won.
hard one to predict too. Like if 3 of them in particular, if they want to be like yeah, that's about right. Do you think this is the strongest overall category if we're looking at all the categories? Like movie for movie, you've seen all these.
I've
movies.
seen all of these movies,
Yeah.
and I honestly,
These movies are great.
If I'm sitting at home and any of these 5 movies come up,
Yeah.
and they're on television, or I'm just wanting to watch a good film,
Yeah.
I'm going to put any of these movies in.
Yeah,
because Big Sick is a great romantic comedy.
Oh, that's great.
Get Out's a great psychological horror film.
Yeah.
Lady Bird is just a good coming of age drama,
Yeah.
comedy a little bit. Shape of Water is flawless, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri is flawless.
Shape of Water is not flawless.
It's flawless.
It's
to me.
not flawless.
It is flawless to
But,
me. But we'll talk about that when we get to Best Picture.
Okay. Yeah.
Did I kind of just blow your mind when I just said Shape of Water for Best Picture? Did I just?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Oh, my God.
But yeah, this is the best category.
It's one of the best.
I was really happy that The Big Sick got nominated. Because something got snubbed. Like
What
from
got
the big, we'll talk about it here in a little
Okay,
bit.
I got sorry.
But something got snubbed from this is like, oh man, that definitely deserved a nomination. But writing wise, like the fact that this is a true story is just like
amazing,
mind blowing.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a true story before going in. I don't think you and Nathan knew.
No, I didn't have a clue.
I didn't want you to tell you guys. Like you guys will find out at the end. That's a true story. But it's almost to the point where like this is too ridiculous to even happen. And then come to find out, like Kumail Nanjiani and his wife, this is what happened to them. And it's an incredible story. I recommend it to literally anybody that exists.
It's a movie you can sit down and you will enjoy. It doesn't matter who you are.
It like even if you don't like movies that curse, like it cusses a little bit, but
get over it and watch the movie.
Story,
you know what I mean?
And like the powerfulness of it all just outweighs that. Like
I agree.
I'd recommend this to like my grandma. Honestly, it's just a really good movie that deals with racial issues, religious issues, relationship issues. It's just a very smartly written script. But
what do you think's going to win?
What do I think's going to shoot?
It's a hard one to do.
It's between 2, I think.
Let me guess.
But then again, if one of the other ones won, I'd be like, oh, okay.
I can't be mad if any of these win.
I think one's going to win, particularly, because it's not going to win anything else, and they're going to give it they're going to give it the win, and I'm like...
The Shape of Water?
Nope. Shape of Water's going to have a lot of Oscars by the end of the night.
Lady Bird?
No.
Get Out. Really?
Get Out is going to win.
Really?
I think Get Out's going to win.
But what do you want to win? Out of those five?
I want Lady Bird to win.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I don't know. I just... The script... There's so many lines in that movie that, like... that touched my heart so much. And like the other movies are like really smartly written, but Lady Bird's more of just like a mood piece where like some of the lines connect with you a lot. Mm-hmm. Whereas Three Billboards, an amazing story, an amazing character study. So if that won, I wouldn't be surprised. And Shape of Water is very smart, but I think Shape of Water has the weakest script out of all these.
I can see that.
I think it does because it's more of a visual thing. And the characters are well written.
Right.
But if we're looking at story-wise and just dialogue-wise, I think Get Out has probably the sharpest...
It's the smartest.
It's the sharpest and tightest script with the exception of like literally 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That I'm like, this doesn't fit in with the movie.
But again, it's also a smart story, too.
Yeah.
You have to
it's a very
think about
smart
some
movie.
of that stuff.
It's a movie that it changes on multiple views.
Right.
You see things, I'm like, this is very smart.
Yeah, he totally meant to do
So
that.
I think Get Out's definitely... I think Get Out's going to win.
Really?
And if I had to take out one, I would not. I would not take out any of these.
You have to, though. That was part of the rules.
I take out...
That was the rules.
Oh, dang.
That was the rules.
You know
but
what
while
I take
you
out?
think about that,
Okay.
I'm
What do you think's
going
gonna
out
win?
on a limb, and I'm going to say the Big Six is going to win.
There's no way.
Hold on. Here's
win.
why.
You're
Because
wrong.
it's based on a true story.
Yeah, so
People love
so
feel-good
is
movies.
Get Out.
People
Boom.
love feel-good movies.
I just got philosophical on you by saying Get Out's based on a true story.
Oh
too.
my god.
Lady Bird's apparently somewhat biographical of what the director Greta Gerwig what she wanted to be like as a teenager.
So it was a fantasy piece.
Fantasy
okay.
piece. But if you had to take out, is it my turn to take out one first?
I don't know. Sure, go with it.
I'd take out Shape of Water because for some reason it just, I don't know. It's more of a visual and story's cool, but I'd take it out. And I would put in, do you think is nah, that would be adapted. I was gonna say Coco, but Coco's adapted. It's a book. What movies did I love? What was in my top?
Do we want to come back to you?
I truly didn't want to take out anything.
Okay,
in this one.
we'll come
I
back
didn't
to
want
you. Think about that a minute.
Okay.
I said take out Lady Bird and put in Wind River. I thought Wind River was one of the most underappreciated movies this year.
I agree.
It was perfect.
It was very good.
It was a perfect film for me. I absolutely
for what
loved
it
that
was.
movie.
For what it was, it probably was perfect.
Yeah, it was a drama, but it was one of those dramas that you could go in, sit down, and watch, and just be thoroughly entertained through the whole film. It didn't do anything stupid.
It really didn't.
It didn't do. It played it safe, but it was a good kind of safe.
Even when it does like it completely changes.
It changes tone.
It completely
like midway
changes
through the movie.
Not even mid, like in the third act. It changes. It gives you exposition in a way that if they would have just explained what happened, it would have felt cheap.
Right.
But instead, they show you what happens, and it's a good example of show don't tell. And it's heartbreaking, and it's awful. Like it's just
And not to mention the fact that Jeremy Renner puts on it's like the best acting.
He should have got more
ever
recognition for that.
It's like the best
She's
acting
very good.
he's ever
Elizabeth
done in a
Olsen
film.
was very good too. But I know my what I take out and what I put in. Now.
Okay.
Now, this isn't a joke pick either.
Okay.
I
mean, whatever you
I think
want
it
to
was
do.
incredible. I'd take out The Shape of Water. I'm not even saying that this has a better screenplay, but if I have to take something out, I'm taking out The Shape of Water and I'm putting in Mother.
How's that a joke pick?
Because it got
I
nominated.
don't see a joke.
It got nominated for Razzies, Josh.
Oh my god! Again, the Razzies can kiss my ass.
Mother, I don't know.
This year because
Mother is a movie that I'm
ridiculous.
scared to watch again because I'm
Why?
scared I won't like it as much the second time. I want to keep. This happened to me once before, Josh. I remember watching Gravity in theaters the first time. I was like, man, that was an incredible theatrical experience.
And then we watched it.
I didn't watch it with you all, but I watched it at my house with my dad. I'm like, it's just not the same. And Mother was just such surprisingly
it's an impactful film.
Impactful. That movie affected me. Like, it didn't make me cry or anything, but like I was shook by the end of that movie watching that thing in theaters, even with the awful crowd we watched it with.
Oh my god!
But I'd put in Mother because I want to put Mother. Mother's my pick from here on out in every category. Not really. But let's move on to Best Supporting Actress first. Let's do actress.
Ooh, okay.
You're
going to have to help me out here with some of these.
We won't spend too much time on these ones.
So, supporting actress nominees are for Mudbound, Mary J. Blige, which is kind of shocking because I didn't even know she was in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
For I, Tonya is Allison Janney.
Mm-hmm.
For Phantom Thread, we have Leslie Manville. Manville,
Big
right?
surprise.
For Lady Bird, we have Laurie
Metcalf.
Okay. And for The Shape of Water, we have Octavia Spencer.
Yes. Octavia Spencer getting a nominee surprised me. Actually, there was two here.
There's two.
Who's the lady from Phantom Thread?
Leslie
Manville.
Yeah.
The former spouse of Gary Oldman.
Really?
Used to be married. So that'd be an odd.
That'd be
Oscar.
an odd little.
Yeah, I watched the Oscars just for that, for their awkward hug and kiss. But but Leslie Manville was.
They got to win first.
Leslie Manville was honestly incredible in Phantom Thread. I didn't think she'd get nominated.
She was good.
She was the second best person in the movie. It's hard to top
Daniel
Day-Lewis.
And
And the girl who's dating Daniel Lewis is good, but Leslie Manville as the sister, I guess, or a assistant. I think it's a sister too. Is amazing. And Octavia Spencer, I was surprised she got nominated because she is very good in Shape of Water, but unlike the other four characters in the movie, she doesn't have an arc.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a character arc. It's not like, I've said this before, all the characters in that movie aside from her, I'd watch their own separate movie.
Right. Yeah.
Even the Russian spy guy. I think he has a very interesting story. Octavia Spencer is funny and charming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very surprised by that. But what do you predict? I know it's going to win this.
Allison Janney.
No
question.
Is going to win. But I think that Laurie Metcalf should definitely win this. Her role in Lady Bird, she literally felt like a mother to me. She felt like, whereas Allison Janney, you haven't seen Tonya, but she is awful.
I've seen enough of the trailers.
If you watch the trailer, you know that she is just an awful person. It's almost to the point where I doubt that person was real. Exactly like that. She's probably a bad mother. She's probably strict. Laurie Metcalf, I've seen that mother several times. She's harsh on Lady Bird, but she's also warm and kind, and she just felt really authentic to me. And there's just scenes with her where I'm like, man, she is acting her butt off in this scene. This scene touches me.
But we all know that Allison Janney's going to win
because
it's
winning.
She's
winning
widely
everything.
regarded.
She's winning everything. But if you could take out one and put in one, I know exactly what I would put in.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I would take out Octavia Spencer for Shape of Water. Just for the simple fact that I felt honestly that character could have been anyone. And the thing of it is that the way it was wrote, it's not on Octavia Spencer because she's a great actress. I watched Hidden Figures and she's amazing.
She delivers the material.
Yeah, I know you haven't watched Hidden Figures.
No, I have not.
I watched Hidden Figures.
She got nominated for that too.
Maybe 5 months ago for the first time. And she acts her ass off in that film.
Yeah.
Everyone in that film is great. Yeah. It really is. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Okay.
But I would take her out, and I would put in Daphne Keane from Logan.
Oh, man. Yeah.
X-23, she was absolutely amazing.
Incredible.
For her age, she talked none in that movie. She didn't speak a word until the last 20 minutes.
Whenever she does start talking, and Logan's like, "What?"
Yeah. So, and everything that she does is physical movement, and that to me is just the best acting you can do. It's the same thing with
11.
No, 11.
Oh, she's similar to
11.
Same
thing with Sally Hawkins in Shape of Water.
Oh, yeah,
they don't speak.
Yeah.
They do not speak. And physical acting like that, to me, just blows me away.
She delivers strong emotion there towards the end. Really strong emotion. I didn't give a shout out to Mary J. Blige. I know you didn't see Mudbound, but she is the best thing about that movie. And this nomination, she deserved it completely. She's amazing. Even the first 40 minutes of that movie is boring. She's amazing in it. But I would take out Octavia Spencer also, and I put in Holly Hunter in The Big Sick because out of all the nominees, this is the first snub because everywhere you look, she was projected to be.
There's a heart.
She was
a hand to hold on to.
She was projected to be. She was projected to be She was projected to be nominated for this role. This was the two nominations it was going to get was Best Supporting Actress and Best Screenplay, and by some long shot, maybe Ray Romano would get thrown in there. It's a shame he didn't, but he didn't. But I think Holly Hunter is amazing. Which all the acting in The Big Sick is amazing, as we talked about. It's a very good story.
Yeah.
But she's a mother. She's another mother. there's an ongoing theme. If she would have got nominated, there would have been three mothers, three completely different kinds of mothers.
Yeah.
You got the overly loving mother to the point of like she's like losing her mind almost in The Big Sick. Because why wouldn't you? Your daughter's in a coma; she might die. You got Laurie Metcalf, who's kind but harsh.
Yeah.
You got Allison Janney, who's the
awful.
devil. She's the devil. But
I really want to go watch I, Tonya this evening
It's very funny and very dark.
Which is not bad. That's good. I love dark comedy. So.
But Holly Hunter, I was disappointed she didn't get nominated. I would have liked to see more of her. But let's move on to Best Supporting Actor.
Okay.
There's another snub in this one as well.
Supporting Actor, we have The Florida Project for William Dafoe. We have 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri with Woody Harrelson. We have 3 Boards Outside Ebbing, Missouri with Sam Rockwell. We have The Shape of Water with Richard Jenkins. And we have All the Money in the World with Christopher Plummer.
There's a clear... I haven't seen the movie... There's a clear
bogus. There's a clear one in there that's bogus.
There's a clear bogus nomination in here.
And it's Christopher Plummer.
I've heard he's good, but they put him in there strictly because of the Kevin Spacey controversy.
Yep, that's exactly why. And we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes because we're gonna talk about that when we get to our take-ins and take-outs.
Yeah, sure. But I haven't seen the movie, but from what I can tell, no way. And there's a glaring omission here of talks of a guy from day one was going to get nominated and maybe even win. And that's Armie Hammer in Call Me by Your Name. And I have a little bit of a theory with that. And I can get into it right now if we want to.
Is it because of the plot of the film and how it's...
Here's the thing.
It mirrors
Armie Hammer
some things
he's in his early 30s in real life, but he plays a 23-year-old in the movie. And he starts a sexual romance with a boy who's 17. This is in France in the early...
This is spoiler territory, by the way.
This is the plot of the movie because there's no spoiling in Call Me by Your Name because there's no real story.
Oh, okay.
But gotcha. He starts a romance with a boy in the early 80s, who's 17 years old. Which it's the times, it's a little different, but while it never ruined the movie for me, I couldn't help but think, man, Call Me by Your... Armie Hammer just looks old as sin. Like, I don't think he's really pulling off this 23. He's great in the movie.
Yeah.
But there's times where I feel a little bit uncomfortable with the climate and things that are happening, particularly with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
I think them putting Christopher Plummer was a slight saying oh, Armie Hammer, you shouldn't have made this movie here. Because we're going to put in Christopher Plummer. Which if I had to make a guess, Armie Hammer's performance is probably better because he is really good. And for months now there was talks of him getting nominated.
Well, and everyone's like, oh, Christopher Plummer came in with no planning or anything like that. He just went in and did the role, and then he went on about his business. Well, sometimes that happens when, you've only done acting for 4 years.
Whereas Armie Hammer probably prepped for this role for forever.
Right.
He probably tried so hard in this role. But I think that there is starting to be controversy behind that movie. I'm reading about it recently where there is, I'd say 30% of people that watch it feel uncomfortable.
The thing of it is, it's like Moonlight, but opposite of what you want. When Moonlight brought out the whole last year, the big thing was people coming out and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Moonlight, and I'm not saying that's why Moonlight won because Moonlight was amazing.
It's great. Yeah.
It was a great film. Loved it. Made my top 10 last year. Probably made my top 5 last year.
Shouldn't have won Best Picture.
But that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the point I'm making is that movies that are coming out now are coming out at the appropriate time. But this movie came out at the appropriate time for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was right place, wrong time.
And there's still not as much backlash as you'd expect.
Right.
Because some people are accepting of it, and that's okay. It's not like it hurt the movie. What hurt the movie for me is that it's kind of long and there's not a lot of story.
Well.
But I would have preferred a younger actor. Aside from Armie Hammer, it's a shame because he did do a really good job. But just visually looking at those two actors, there's a massive age difference. Mm-hmm. And it's not because they're gay. I don't care. It's still a beautiful story. It's just
you just said you loved Moonlight, so
I got a poster of Moonlight in my room. I love Moonlight. I love Moonlight.
You can't throw that. But who's going to win? Who's going to win?
Sam Rockwell's going to win.
Yeah, no question.
But this is a pretty stacked category aside from Christopher Plummer, because Woody Harrelson is really. So
you would take out Christopher Plummer, right?
I take out Christopher Plummer. I put in Armie Hammer.
Okay.
Even with the controversy, I put him in because I think he deserves it because he was very good.
All right.
Or that's my impersonation of Pennywise. I put in Bill Skarsgård for Pennywise because I thought he was amazing because he does that at the end of the movie.
I know.
When he's dealing with the kids. He's like,
awful.
He's like, or... I'm waving my finger, by the way. But
yeah,
that's
they could see that if they had a camera.
That's just unrealistic for a clown to get nominated for Best Supporting Actor, so I'll stick with Armie Hammer.
So this was the one that had the controversy I told you about earlier.
Oh, boy.
I would take out Christopher Plummer just because.
Just because it's clearly all political.
And I would put in... You ready? Because I know what you're going to say. You're going to say screw off. I know that's what you're going to say.
Screw off already.
Yeah. And I would put in Mark Hamill in The Last Jedi.
It's not crazy.
Because he acted his ass off as Luke Skywalker.
That was
the most
most
emotionally driven Luke Skywalker character, period.
Considering that this may be controversial, but I didn't think Mark Hamill was that good of an actor in the original trilogy.
No!
He was not the best thing about those movies. And now looking at him now, he's a really good actor. I saw him in another movie this year where he's a supporting piece, a movie called Brigsby Bear, where he's amazing. He might be better in that than he is in The Last Jedi. But I get that. There's another guy in there that I would have thrown in maybe because I thought he was amazing, and that's old boy in Blade Runner 2049.
Harrison Ford? See, that's the thing. I put Harrison Ford down, but then I was like,
Harrison Ford's good, but if I'm going to be realistic, I'd be like, Armie Hammer definitely, like, it's a glaring omission. There was talks of him getting in there for months now, so I'd stick with Armie Hammer. But that clearly the political move was, or just a publicity move with Christopher Plummer. But let's move on.
We're getting into the big stuff now.
Big stuff.
We're getting into the big stuff.
Actress.
So... we're lead actress first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have The Shape of Water with Sally Hawkins. We have 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri with Frances McDormand. We have I, Tonya with Margot Robbie. Mm-hmm. We have Lady Bird with... Help me out here.
Saoirse Ronan.
Aha! And we have The Post with Meryl Streep.
Another publicity.
I don't
know. I haven't seen The Post. We missed it
because it was only in our theater for about 2 weeks.
We'll talk about The Post when we get the Best Picture. But this is a stacked category
for the wrong reason.
Not really.
It is because I feel Meryl Streep.
There's 4 in here.
Here's my thing. I think Meryl Streep is a wonderful actress. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure she's great in the movie.
She's good. But Meryl Streep could go outside and say 2 lines of Shakespeare and get nominated.
She got nominated for Into the Woods.
Yes. Why? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like
if she does a movie, it's going to get nominated.
It's almost like Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg's going to get nominated for Best Picture. It doesn't matter what it is. He can film a paper bag for 20 minutes. And
what's funny about all this? Do you know the last time Tom Hanks got nominated for an Oscar?
Forrest Gump.
It's 2001 for Castaway. He has not got nominated.
He didn't get nominated for Captain Phillips.
No.
Wow.
He didn't get nominated.
I did not know that.
No, he didn't get nominated for that or the movie. What was the movie he did with Clint Eastwood last year?
Oh,
where he's he's flying the plane.
Sully, which is underrated too, I believe.
But which is funny because you see Steven Spielberg, which he didn't get nominated this year, though. Steven Spielberg didn't. But you see Steven Spielberg movies getting nominated.
He got nominated for Best Picture.
He got nominated for Best Picture, but you see a lot of his movies, regardless of the content, they get nominated.
Right.
And you see Meryl Streep get nominated all the time.
All the time.
But I think 4 out of these 5 are amazing. What were they again?
Sally Hawkins.
Yes.
Frances McDormand.
Okay.
Margot Robbie. Lady Birds.
Saoirse Ronan. Okay, it's all coming back. I
can't say it. And Meryl Streep.
So, like, if any of those 4 won, I'd be like, oh yeah, sure. But Frances McDormand's going to win.
Oh, definitely.
It's a powerhouse performance. Yep. It's the loudest performance. It's the biggest.
It's the biggest overall over the top.
And I also think with the movement going on, it's such a strong. Which these are all strong female characters,
right?
Like very strong.
Yeah.
But that's the strongest and. It might be the best performance, also. Like it's very good.
I'm pulling for Sally Hawkins. I want her to win just because,
she's
I said,
honestly, it's closer than you think.
Yeah,
it's but the race between
I know
them,
Frances McDormand's going to win, but
Sally Hawkins is right behind her, and probably Margot Robbie is right there.
Yeah,
and then Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah,
Meryl Streep's in last.
Yeah,
she's in last place.
Yeah,
but if take out an actor. And
Meryl Streep,
and put one in Meryl Streep. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm taking her out because screw you, Meryl Streep. You're overrated.
It's overrated.
Overrated. Your impersonation is better than mine.
It's all right.
Maybe
we'll have Donald Carly in. I don't appreciate you trying to take Meryl out.
I said I would take out I'd take out Meryl, and I'd put in another person who got nominated for a Razzie. I'd put in Jennifer Lawrence for Mother.
Well, you know what, folks? Shut it down because we just put the same thing. So shut it down.
That, honestly, like, she's had some good performances in her time. But that's her best performance, probably.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody... Like, I think even people that walked away from it hating the movie, like, they could not deny Jennifer Lawrence in that movie.
When we saw the film in theaters, the two women that were below us...
a couple older ladies.
And they looked to be in their 60s.
Yeah.
60s, 65, 70 years old.
Yeah.
They got up, and people were like, oh, this movie's stupid. And the lady turned around and looked and said, well... I didn't really like the movie, but Jennifer Lawrence was really good in that film.
Good.
So that's a testament of how good she was in that film.
And it's not like she got snubbed or anything. It's just because there was never a chance she was going to get nominated. No. But man, she deserves more recognition for this role. Yeah. Not a Razzie.
No.
Jeez Louise. That's just...
She got nominated for 3 Razzies. Worst director, worst movie, and worst actress, and worst
Javier Bardem got nominated.
My God!
That was a time with
Razzies.
Pirates. That was a time with Pirates also. It seems like when somebody has a couple movies that were panned, like they put in both movies, so they put in Pirates and Mother. But yeah,
it's ridiculous. I mean, that I remember we talked about that on Facebook and how bogus it was. How bogus it was that Mother got nominated for like 5 Razzies.
Bogus that it got an F cinema score.
Yeah,
it's been treated unfairly since day one. And luckily it did sort of make its money back, and the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is gradually coming up. It's at like 58 now or something.
I just think a lot of people that went and saw it in theaters, the people that would appreciate it were almost afraid to go watch it.
You know what?
Because after seeing those scores.
I've talked to a lot of people that love this movie,
yeah.
Man. Like, I saw a friend of mine on Twitter say, like, she said, like just got done watching Mother, and I'm shook. I was like, yeah, it's like I watched this movie in theaters with a bunch of people that was not having it.
Yeah, I believe when it came right down to it,
yeah.
that me, you, and the friend that went with us were the only 3 people that totally got and appreciate the film.
It was one of my favorite movies of the past year, and I would have loved for it to get nominated for a bunch of technical awards like editing and sound design and stuff, but that was just unrealistic. So I guess we'll move on. We predict that Frances McDormand's going to win.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
Even though all the performances are good.
Yeah.
Streep's probably good too, but yeah.
But like I said, paper bag for 5 minutes and she'd get nominated.
Yeah. But McDormand definitely. Actor, a little bit controversy on this one.
All right, we have Call Me by Your Name with Timothy Chalamet. Phantom Thread with Daniel Day-Lewis. Get Out with Daniel
Kaluuya.
Like the drink, just not spelled the same.
Sure.
Darkest Hour with Gary Oldman. And we have Roman J. Israel Esquire. I believe that's Esquire.
Yeah.
And that was played by Denzel Washington.
So there's a glaring omission on this one too.
I know.
Because
Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner 2049.
Exactly. But from what I hear, he probably deserved more than Denzel. I haven't seen the movie, but the movie got panned critically. And I've seen where some people said that it is the best thing about a bad movie is his performance, but I also hear it's kind of a goofy performance. From what you can tell in the trailers and the clips that I've seen, it's kind of a goofy.
Then who is it?
It's Denzel.
Oh, I thought you were talking like a snub.
Oh no. There is a glaring omission though. I did start off saying that.
That's what you said. I was like, well, who are you talking
James
about?
Franco, clearly. James Franco, for months now, he was probably the second or third front runner for this. Obviously,
do you feel that they might have took Franco out to put in Denzel?
Yeah,
think so?
They apparently a lot of the voters put out their nominees before the controversy hit. It was around January 12th when they locked in their votes, and I think they went in and made an executive decision because last year Casey Affleck won Best Actor, and he had a lot of
heat on him.
Domestic violence past, which apparently. He never got in trouble for or whatever, which I don't know. But they didn't want that episode again, especially with this movement that's going on.
Yeah.
Even though James Franco, it hasn't been proven.
But apparently in Hollywood you are guilty.
A couple of the things are sketchy, and here's the thing: I almost don't blame them because they don't want that writing on their show. They don't want that.
I can understand.
They don't want that controversy. It's just unfortunate,
right?
I think Denzel. A lot of people are saying like it's like, oh, he got put in because he's black. It's like no. Like, he got put in because he's Denzel. Like, he's a veteran actor.
Yeah.
He's someone that's got nominated a lot. He's a big name. It's cool to have Denzel there,
right?
Like, and it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
It's a safe bet.
Well, this is the first time he's got nominated in a long time.
He's just there to be there. He has no chance of winning. No, he got nominated last year for Fences.
Oh yeah,
he directed that movie.
I forgot about Fences.
He was incredible in Fences.
He was.
Now, Gary Oldman.
Oh, Gary Oldman.
This is Gary Oldman's to lose. Like, there's no way. Like, he's gonna win this.
Like, the only two people that could possibly win it is Gary Oldman and Daniel Day-Lewis. And I could see them giving it to Daniel Day-Lewis because it's his last film.
There's a lot of talk behind Timothée Chalamet in Call Me by Your Name. He's such a young actor. I think he's like 21 or 22.
He'd be the youngest to win, would he not?
No,
if that's the case.
No, because there's been some young actors win. Some pretty young actors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think like Natalie Portman won at a really, really young age.
Actress.
There's a lot of talk about Timothée Chalamet, but he's not going to win.
I really think it'll be Gary Oldman.
But if I had to pick out of all these, what was the third one there?
Get Out.
Daniel Kaluuya. I'm very happy
He's the underdog. He is as underdog.
As I don't think he stands a chance, but that's a performance that that performance gets better every time you watch the movie, just like the movie itself.
Yeah.
It just such an understated performance, like just the subtleties and how you can just cry on demand. It's incredible. Yeah. Like I wouldn't mind to see a couple other nominations from Get Out acting wise.
Yeah.
But he was the best thing about the movie. He just powerhouse. But Daniel Day-Lewis. He was Daniel Day-Lewis. He was incredible. Yeah. Like, whenever you watch Phantom Thread, you don't see Daniel Day-Lewis.
No.
Like, this is... Every performance is drastically
that was
different than the last
Reynolds
one.
Woodcock. I mean, that was that guy.
You know who it reminded me of? It was Ralph Fiennes from In Bruges and Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of like he was doing an impersonate. If Ralph Fiennes was a dress designer who has a sick mentality,
has some OCD problems,
and he's just a messed up person. Yeah. That would be the case. But Gary Oldman's to lose. The Franco thing, it's unfortunate because he was definitely going to get nominated, and I think he deserved to get nominated. And if I had to take out one, I'm going to disclude Franco because clearly they didn't want him there.
Right.
They didn't want him there. I would take out Denzel, and I'll put in Andy Serkis from War for the Planet of the Apes because.
Well, I didn't honestly.
10 years from now,
Andy Serkis slipped my mind.
10 years from now, they're going to give him an Oscar for like his work or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, why didn't you give him an Oscar when he was doing this stuff?
Yeah, they'll give him like a lifetime achievement award for what he's doing.
Why didn't you nominate him when he was better than everybody else? Yeah. I mean, it's stupid.
Me, I would take out Denzel Washington and put in Christian Bale for Hostels.
Yeah, he was incredible.
I thought he was amazing.
If it wasn't such a stacked category, he was probably like 6th, 7th or so for me. He was incredible. That's actually one of the better Christian Bale performances I've ever seen. Actually, it's like if you look at like him getting nominated for like American Hustle, like man, that's a cool movie. But
I think that's his best like acting role.
I'm like he's like way better in Hostels than he is in American Hustle. The only difference is that he gained a bunch of weight for American Hustle. Yeah. Like emotion wise, he is incredible, and his character arc is very good in Hostels. But that is some of the best acting I've seen from him.
Yeah,
if not the best. I'm trying to think of others.
The Prestige.
Of course, he's very good in The Prestige, but he's better.
What I was going to say is I think that's his best role since The Prestige.
The Prestige is like a better movie. And obviously you got like cult movies like American Psycho, where he's really good at it.
Yeah.
And he's pretty good as Bruce Wayne, but yeah. So, Director! This is the one you had to do at the last moment here.
Yeah, well, so mine's going to be a little... my take in and take out is going to be, or put in is going to be really
mine's also
short notice. But
so what are the nominees for best?
Dunkirk with Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Get Out with Jordan Peele. Lady Bird with Greta Gerwig. Thank you. Phantom Thread with Paul Thomas Anderson. Shocking. And The Shape of Water with Del Toro.
Yes. This is a strong category.
It is. It's very strong. I'm shocked Phantom Thread got
There's a massive snub in here from someone who'd been nominated for everything directing-wise. And that's Martin McDonagh for 3 Billboards.
That's who I put in.
Got snubbed. That wouldn't be my put in, though.
Because
I you know what? I think he's a great writer and he's a very good director, but directing-wise, I don't think he's as good as these other directors.
I agree.
Because as big of a shock as it was for me to see Paul Thomas Anderson get nominated, I was like, man, like he was. I can't deny the nominee, man.
No, I won't deny it, but it was still shocking.
I really can't deny any of these nominees. And this is another groundbreaking category because you got 2 first-time directors.
Yep.
You got Jordan Peele and Greta Gerwig.
Yep.
Like the 5th woman to ever get nominated as the best director, and like the 5th black person to ever be nominated for best director, if I'm not mistaken. And they're first-time directors.
Yep.
And I think they're totally deserving. Like both movies have their complete own vision.
Yep.
And I'm just blown away by the direction. And as for taking out one, which I want to do this before we actually predict.
Christopher Nolan, right? You want to take out
But
Nolan.
here's the thing.
You want to take out
I want
Nolan.
to take him out, but
Same.
he's literally the best thing about that movie. Because as you know... Like,
but what does that say about the movie?
I'm not in love with Dunkirk.
That's what
I think
I'm
it
saying.
has story. If Dunkirk would have got nominated for best screenplay, I probably would have I would have murdered everybody who would have voted for the Oscars. Because there's no screenplay to Dunkirk.
There is.
There's no characterization, which is what they were going for. It's just for me as an experiment that didn't work. Now, as a visceral experience, it worked on some level. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
But I take him out because I think he's done better directing work, and this is the first time he's ever been nominated for a director, and that's a shame. Should have got nominated for The Dark Knight. Should have got nominated for The Prestige. Mm-hmm. That's probably about it. Because I think he's kind of overrated.
I agree. I agree.
But I think The Prestige and The Dark Knight are undeniable. Like those are powerhouse dramas.
I don't know. I'd put him in for Inception too. I'd give him.
Oh yeah, that was You're right. That was there was a big backlash whenever he didn't.
Because Inception's whole
he got nominated for
premise.
He got nominated for best picture, but he didn't get nominated for best director that year.
Yeah.
And he should because that had a very good script.
Yeah.
But with Dunkirk, maybe I'm just tying into the script for this one. I shouldn't, but there's no script, and it's not like the acting's good. But if I'm looking at what the directors did with these actors in the other movie, that took some skill, especially for 2 first-time directors. But if I had to take out one, I'd take out Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
and I put in a director who's been nominated before for best director, and this might have been his best work. And I'd put in Denis Villeneuve for Blade Runner 2049. Because
I could see that.
Because I think that what he did direction-wise, to create a story like that,
mm-hmm.
and then also direct like the hell out of it, that's just skill and passion. And if you look at his other movies like Arrival and Sicario, he clearly showed it there, but now he's got this huge budget, mm-hmm. and what he can do with a huge budget has no limit.
Yeah,
and I just think it was the biggest. Out of any theatrical experience, that was the biggest theatrical experience you could have had at the movies.
He's got
this
to
year.
the point now where people know that he's such a good director that he's getting to do his I believe he called it his passion project. He's getting to remake.
That
Dune.
was a passion. Yeah. And I'd say this was even somewhat of a passion project.
So I mean, they're giving him enough faith.
Yeah.
As movie studios are giving him enough faith to redo Blade Runner 2049. Yeah. And in a lot of ways, you could say that Blade Runner 2049, even though it is better than Blade Runner.
I think it definitely is.
And you could sit and watch Blade Runner 2049, not have to watch Blade Runner, and it can stand on its own.
It totally can.
And
just
now,
a couple things.
Now they're getting to the point where studios are giving him enough faith that he's going to redo a David Lynch movie.
Yeah.
A David Lynch film, which Dune isn't great.
Apparently, a David Lynch movie that won't be hard to make better.
It won't be hard to make better, but I'm just saying that there's some directors' work that you just shouldn't touch. David Lynch, Steven Spielberg, remaking their stuff, right? Because they have their own vision for it. But they're giving him enough faith to put a budget behind him to remake a considerable cult classic movie. Yeah. Same way with Blade Runner.
I just think it's fascinating that a studio's like, hey, here's $180 million. Make this movie. And we don't really care if you make your money back. And I just thought that was cool. Because Blade Runner, it made its money back worldwide. It did not. Yeah. It really didn't make its money, counting marketing and all that stuff.
Well, they do the same thing. We had that conversation earlier about, the other day about a movie. Who is the director we were talking about where he could just make. It's Paul Thomas Anderson?
Paul Thomas Anderson. The studio, Phantom Thread is not going to make its money back.
No.
They didn't care. They're like, this might get nominated for some awards.
Yeah.
So
here you go. Have some money.
That fails, but I think Phantom Thread will win at least one award. Which costume design, which is something that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
That's what the movie's about. The movie's about dresses.
Well,
and
it won the Golden Globe for that, right?
There was not a category.
What did it won something? What was a Golden Globe for something? What was it?
Didn't get nominated for any Golden Globes.
You sure?
Yeah, it didn't get nominated because it hadn't really been released yet.
Okay.
Which that didn't stop. That didn't stop all the money in the world from being nominated.
I thought it got nominated for something.
And it didn't get.
Critics. What? Wait. What was it?
Paul Thomas Anderson might have got nominated for best. I mean,
he got nominated for
Daniel
something
Day-Lewis.
We had watched.
Daniel Day-Lewis might have got nominated for best actor at the Golden Globes, but that's it. Critics' Choice, it probably got nominated for a few things.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Critics' Choice. Then
Daniel Day-Lewis definitely got nominated.
Yeah,
because that's an outrage.
But anyway, I would take out Christopher Nolan and put in Martin for
Martin
Three
McDonough.
Billboards. Yeah.
Hey,
honestly, because that movie was amazing.
I think this is an easy one to predict now that Martin's not in there because, as far as I'm concerned, it was a two-way race between Martin McDonough and Del Toro, and McDonough's not there.
Yeah.
So Del Toro is going to win this.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the first time he's ever been nominated for Best Director, if you can believe that or not. He's been at the game for many years.
Yeah.
Several great movies.
Well, it's hard to deny how good Shape of Water is.
That is, out of all the movies, that did have the best direction out of the best acting nominees. Though,
because everyone in that film, he got a performance out of. Every single one. And they were great actors and actresses.
Props to Jordan Peele and Greta Gerwig. It's groundbreaking. And I don't think they're put in there for political reasons. I think they deserve to be there. Because Gerwig got snubbed at the Golden Globes. And Natalie Portman, I don't know if you ever saw that video of Natalie Portman when they go up to announce the best directors. And she goes like, here are the nominees for the all-male best directors. And people were like, oh, that was a shot at Greta Gerwig not getting nominated. So they're like, the Oscars are like, we're definitely not going to make that mistake. And it's not like like I said, they put her in there for political reasons. I think she deserved to be in there. It was the best reviewed
Lady
movie.
Bird is widely
it was the best reviewed movie of the year. So can't really fault that.
No.
So you predict, we both predict that Del Toro is going to win that.
Question.
Yeah. And you would have put in Mark McDonough.
Yeah.
I love Mark McDonough. He has 3 movies that I love.
I just think, for me, if you took out Christopher Nolan and you put Martin in, you couldn't be mad at anyone that won.
There would be a Nolan fanboy backlash from hell, but I don't care about those people. I don't care about those people because those are the same people that were upvoting The Dark Knight Rises before it came out so that it could get a higher IMDb score than The Godfather. So I mean, that's the fan base we're dealing with here. Yeah. There's some people that love Nolan, that's cool, but that fan base is ridiculous, and I don't care to call them out. Denis Villeneuve needs to have if he ever gets a huge fan base, they need to be cool. Yeah. Okay, so I think he's already better than Nolan, if I'm being honest with you. But I would put him in Villeneuve because I just think he should get, anytime he makes a movie, he should get nominated because his last name's so cool.
All right.
No other reason.
So
Best Picture, the big one. We saved it for the last one. A lot of controversy with a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
But what are the nominees?
The nominees are Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Yes. So that's
this could take a while.
That's 9 movies.
That's 9 movies.
You mean tell me
you said that there would be 8. They did nominate 9 though.
You mean to tell me they could have had 10? They didn't put in Wonder Woman. I've heard that a lot. And I'm like, guys, there's about 10 other movies that's ahead of Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
but
like the movie that I would take out and put, or the movie that I would put in, should have been nominated.
I already know the movie I'm taking out. And it's not 2 movies that I haven't seen either.
Is it Dunkirk?
We'll get to it.
Is it Dunkirk?
Let's talk about the controversy first. Obviously, Call Me By Your Name had a lot of steam there in late November. Mm-hmm. There was talks of it definitely being a top dog here at winning Best Picture. Huh. But this controversy behind the movie now with the age difference and how it seems.
And let me address something. Folks, there is a thing at the end of every movie, and it's one simple sentence. It says, everything in this movie is fictitious. Correct?
Yes.
And it says what? Anything coincidental is merely that, coincidence. You are watching a film and it is fiction. Okay? If it goes close to home with you, then so be it. However, these movies are fiction-driven films. Yes. A lot of this stuff, okay? Needless to say, if you're going to get angry just because a film touches a little close to home for you, or you disagree with the overall story it's trying to tell you, it's a movie.
Yeah.
It is a movie. This stuff happens in real life. why are you backlashing a movie that shines a light on that subject? Good or bad, it's still shining a light on that subject.
Yeah.
That's just that. It blows my mind how a movie can get backlash just because of the subject matter. It's like, I'll go back to like we said earlier. Moonlight last year came out at the right time. Okay? Yeah. If the things that came out, if the hashtag Me Too movement or whatever didn't happen, this movie would be praised. I think Call Me By Your Name would be praised.
It is getting praised.
It is, but at the same time, it's getting that backlash because of what it is.
Yeah.
But there was no backlash last year at Moonlight for touching on homosexuality or anything like that.
Well, because there's no overage, underage stuff in
exactly.
Moonlight.
But
it's all people within the same age.
But I'm just saying, I'm talking like it's a subject type deal.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying.
I don't think any of these movies deserve backlash. The few movies here that I have that have a little bit of controversy behind them, I don't think any of them deserve backlash.
The point I'm trying to make is you're giving a movie backlash just because of the social topic that it is given.
Yeah,
and it's given a backlash because it's showing a light on something that actually happens. There are a lot of people that have those type of relationships, and especially back. And when did you say the movie was? What was the date of the movie? Like, when was it dated? It was in the 70s, 80s.
It's in the early 80s.
Okay, so it's in the early 80s.
In Europe.
1980s Europe
in Europe
is 1,000 times different than 2017 America.
Yeah.
Don't backlash a movie because it's a period piece based on something in the 1980s.
I don't think that's even the problem with the backlash with the movie, because it's a 23 and a 17-year-old, which isn't crazy. I don't think
for 1980.
No, that's not crazy. The problem is that Armie Hammer looks old as hell. Well, I think that's the problem.
That's a casting problem. That's different.
And that
I'm just talking about backlashing a movie over subject matter.
That ties in with why I think he didn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Just to say, if Happiness came out today,
oh no,
oh my God,
no,
the movie Happiness. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
It wouldn't,
backlash.
It wouldn't get released. I know. It got released unrated and NC-17 at the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But now it wouldn't even get.
Yeah,
it would get that. It would get the treatment of that Louis C.K. movie. It wouldn't even see the light of day.
But you understand what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah,
that movie would not.
People would not
see
have
the light
that.
of day.
And I think that's an amazing movie.
That just shows the difference of time that we have in. And that movie came out in 2000.
Came out in 98.
98. Okay,
yeah.
so 20 years later.
Yeah.
The amount of difference.
Different times.
And I just, to me, that just.
And with Call Me By Your Name, I don't think it has. It just has a little bit of controversy, but I also think other movies are picking up steam, so that Call Me By Your Name sort of getting left in the dust a little bit. Because early on, critically, it was just getting amazing reviews. Mm-hmm. But now there is that slight backlash, and it's not about the story. It's not because it's 23, 17-year-old. I think even people realize it was the times of the early 80s in Europe. Like, it's okay if they have a romantic relationship with each other, even though they're 6 years apart. It's just a lot of people find the miscast of Armie Hammer to be somewhat uncomfortable, because the boy, while he's playing a 17-year-old, he's like 21. He looks about 15, and I think people are having a problem with that. Which I don't. It wouldn't be my personal pick for Best Picture, but I don't think it deserves any controversy.
Right.
Another movie that has controversy behind it is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which I think is not hurting the movie at all. It's not hurting. The controversy behind this is stupid.
Yeah,
like,
go
it's
ahead.
stupid.
Go ahead. What is the backlash behind?
Well, it's because they
Billboards?
give Sam Rockwell, who is an awful person. He's a racist. He's a racist.
He's a horrible person.
He's a dummy. He's a racist. There's hints at him torturing black people while interrogating them. There's just hints of it. They never show it, but they tell you about it a little bit. And
it doesn't help that and there's one key intricate scene in that film.
Yeah.
When he walks back into the police station after. I don't want to spoil the movie. After he does this horrific thing to a person, then he walks back into the police station. There is a black dude standing there, and he looks at him and says a remark, and then walks back.
He just says, "What the f are you looking at?"
Right, but it's just the overall intention.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. But the backlash for that movie is just
the reason why
asinine.
it's not because he's a bad guy or whatever. It's because they give him a thing that movies should give all characters, and that's called a character arc.
Yeah. Oh, and they also give him character development.
They give him character development, and apparently people don't like whenever people see it. That's today's culture. When people see someone being someone who's a bad person, they want the worst for that person. They don't want that person to improve.
Right.
Which, I mean, bad people are bad people. Just I might not want to hang out with them, but I want to see them improve as people at least. And at least with Sam Rockwell, without going into too many spoilers, I'm not going to say they give him redemption, but.
No,
he smarts up a little bit towards the end.
They don't give.
And it's not like they ever make the character likable, but they give him a little bit to work with to make him relate to Frances McDormand's character just a little bit.
They don't give him redemption; they give him growth.
Yeah, they give him.
They don't give him redemption; they give him intelligence,
which is crazy in a movie. Giving a character growth, that's just crazy. Which relates to happiness somewhat. Which if we're talking about the character of happiness, that character has no growth. That character hates what he's doing, but he's doing it. He's like, I'm doing this and I don't know how to stop it, but I'm going to keep doing it.
If you haven't seen Happiness, I suggest you go watch it you'll know what we're talking about.
I'm not even going to go into what he does, but but with Sam Rockwell, there's a lot of backlash. Like, they're giving this character redemption that doesn't deserve it. Like, listen, just because they give this character a somewhat redemption moment doesn't mean that I want to hang out with this guy and have drinks with him later. Like, I think everybody in 3 Billboards are awful people. Yeah. Like, I think Frances McDormand I would not want to hang out with her. But I think that's where they relate and they all have empathy with each other. And I think it's an important movie.
Something exploded again here.
I think the message of empathy is important in this movie, and I think a lot of people are taking it the wrong way because of the times. There is a lot of racist stuff happening in today's culture, and it's awful. But don't get it confused with what's happening in this movie. I think the way it speaks about race is somewhat smart. The way they speak about cops.
The way
they speak about cops.
The same way Get Out speaks about racism.
Yeah. And you can view both movies without even thinking about race, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, I probably think about race more in 3 Billboards than I do in Get Out. Get Out's just a really smart movie. But 3 Billboards has that little bit of controversy behind it, but I don't think it's slowing that movie down at all.
No.
And the other movie that has controversy behind it is Shape of Water. Have you heard about this?
I haven't.
Well,
but please go ahead because we're getting ready to get into Shape of Water.
Shape of Water,
which is probably top 3 films for me this past year.
Shape of Water. A lot of people are with today's culture are frowning upon the movie because a woman has sex with a fish. I'm joking. Yeah. This isn't happening at all. But this is. I was joking.
I was going to say, if that's the case,
the only controversy behind Shape of Water is like, man, is that the movie about the woman that has sex with the fish? And a lot of people are cool with this. So good for you, America. But yeah, there's no controversy behind that movie.
Do you know what?
I'm surprised. yeah, that scene. But yeah, if there was controversy behind Shape of Water, like, God, oh my God, it's a fantasy movie.
Yeah. Spoiler alert!
I mean, watch the trailer. It's a fantasy movie.
Watch the trailer.
It's clearly somewhat of a love story.
Oh my God!
But it's about
I can't,
a mute woman and a fish creature.
Anymore. I can't wrap my mind around how people can go in and nitpick little things in movies.
Yeah.
And say something's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, like 3 Billboards, going right back to that. There is a difference between redemption and intelligence.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell doesn't get redemption. He smartens up.
He's starting to show what he's capable of as a human being.
Yes.
Which is something I think we should all want out of everybody. But
if that's the case, then we should talk about Phantom Thread and how Daniel Day-Lewis is a complete asshole in that film and how awful of a person he is. But you don't hear about that.
Not even the worst person in the movie.
That's true.
That is a crazy movie.
We won't spoil that movie. That twist in that movie is.
Let's now that we're past the controversy of those couple of movies. Do you think this is the most diverse selection of Best Picture nominees ever in terms of genre?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think it is, no doubt.
Well, the thing of it is, we don't have... Well, I guess you do with...
I think you have 2 Oscar bait movies.
The Post
2 movies,
and Dunkirk, right?
No, Dunkirk's not Oscar bait movie.
Darkest Hour.
Darkest Hour and The Post, which are 2 movies I haven't seen, but you can watch the trailer and be like, these are Oscar bait movies. And you could be tricked into thinking that Phantom Thread is an Oscar bait movie, but it is the furthest thing from that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a period piece movie, but it's also a crazy psychological look into how relationships work.
We've had this conversation before, and The Post seems like Steven Spielberg's version of Spotlight. And to me, I want to look at that movie, and I know if I sit down and watch that movie, I'm going to think, well, yeah, but Spotlight did it better.
I just have a bad taste, and you do too, from sitting down and watching Bridge of Spies a couple years ago, which got critically praised,
and it was the most boring film we watched.
I thought it was a really boring. Like, it was a well-made movie. It looked good. It's just I thought it was a boring movie.
And I think that the guy that won Best Supporting Actor was
robbery from Sylvester Stallone. Mark Rylance. My
that
gosh.
Was so. I think that
it's bothering me still.
It's I'm
not going to watch The Post strictly for but. The Post has to be better than Bridge of Spies. Like, it has to.
God, I'd hope so.
And Darkest Hour is probably fine, but it definitely looks like an Oscar bait movie.
Yeah.
And then the rest of these movies are not even close to Oscar bait movies.
The thing of it is with Darkest Hour. Here's the thing about Darkest Hour. You don't hear about anything else from that film
except
for Gary Oldman.
Which is sort of like the formula for Oscar bait.
And
when it has that really strong central performance, but it's just a historical piece.
Yeah. Phantom Thread, it could be that. You could almost say that about Phantom Thread too.
But here,
what I'm getting at is when you see the marketing for that film, they don't talk about anything else other than Daniel Day-Lewis's performance. That seriously, when you see a trailer for that film on television, when you see a Facebook ad or anything like that, it's all Daniel Day-Lewis.
But I also don't think they want to give away what the movie's about.
Well, it's true. I can see that too.
And
but
it also got another acting nod besides Daniel Day-Lewis.
I can see that.
So I mean, the acting all around is amazing,
right? But you don't hear about that.
Yeah, you don't.
And the same thing with Darkest Hour. You don't hear about anything. You don't hear about the direction. You don't hear about the story.
The difference between those two is that I doubt I'll get started on Darkest Hour, then halfway through the movie, like some major thing tonally will happen. I'm like, what movie am I watching?
Right.
Now? With Phantom Thread, I thought I was watching a movie, and then it changes. And I'm like, this is a different movie than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Which made the movie better.
It did. It did
because it's kind of long. You know, it's kind of a long movie. But I've liked it more since I've sat on it. But other than those two sort of Oscar baiting movies, which we haven't seen and we're being very prejudiced about, I don't think
it's not that we're being prejudiced. We're just uninformed. We're going by what we think.
We're speaking from past experience.
Yep.
I don't think any of these other movies are even close to being Oscar bait movies. No. Dunkirk is, regardless if I don't love Dunkirk, it's a big budget art film. It's not an Oscar bait movie. It's an experimental film. Phantom Thread is an art film that's cynical and subversive and crazy and makes me kind of feel sick at times. Get Out is a damn horror movie.
Yeah.
This is the first horror movie to be nominated since The Sixth Sense, I think, which was in 2000. It got nominated. And deserving, too. Get Out is a very tight script and a very, very good movie.
Get Out is one of those films that we're going to look down the road 10, 15 years from now. Forget about it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's going to be one of those movies that is going to be so good because Jordan Peele is going to be one of those directors. He hit it out of the park with Get Out.
Yeah.
He's going to do his next film. He's going to hit it out of the park again.
He should.
He should.
Yeah.
And hopefully he gets the same budget, the same type of deal.
He had a small budget for Get Out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it shows if a director can take something that is really small budgeted and make that good of a film, that shows he doesn't need anything else to make a strong,
that movie made a
lot
of money.
Film.
Made a lot of money.
And it's like if he can do that consistently over his next how many ever films he decides to make, it's like Tarantino. You know, you watch Tarantino's films. Tarantino has 8 movies or 7 movies right now, right? 8.
So 8.
You forget some of his movies because some of his movies are so good.
Yeah,
I think Jordan Peele's going to be the same way.
Now that you mentioned Tarantino,
I think Jordan Peele will sit there and go like we will sit down and be watching a Jordan Peele film 20 years from now and be like, oh man, do you remember Get Out? Get Out was so good.
The thing with Jordan Peele with his first directorial debut, Get Out, I think since you bring up Tarantino, which is a guy who is noticed as one of today's best directors.
Especially when it comes to dialogue.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think Get Out is better than every Tarantino movie since Pulp Fiction. So I mean, that just goes, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. Like, I just don't. I think post 2000s Tarantino is good, not great, and that just goes to show like this is up there with Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown. It's up there with like Reservoir Dogs was Tarantino's first movie, which is a great movie, and I'd put Get Out up there with that. So that he's showing promise. I just hope he doesn't go down that. I don't think he's ever going to go down that because Reservoir Dogs is short. It's like 100 minutes long.
Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't go down this route of like making movies where they're like 3 hours long, and
I don't. Think
and I also hope they don't start giving
will.
him like comic book movies. I want him to stick to what he's good at.
Yeah.
And this is what he is clearly.
Well, I mean, the
good
thing of
at.
it is, here's the thing. And the thing of him about him too is that he's a comedian.
Yeah, he's very funny,
and he's very funny.
Yeah.
So, him and
Keegan-Michael Key.
yes, did Keanu.
Yeah.
Which, granted, he didn't write it or direct it. Or
They wrote it.
Or they wrote it, but they didn't direct it.
No, they didn't direct it. No.
But I hope that if he does these director movies, like where he's directing movies, I hope he never tries to direct himself.
Yeah,
and just for the fact,
like Tarantino does. Tarantino will put him
that way.
Tarantino will put himself inside of a movie so that he can have an accent and say the N-word. That's what I've learned about Tarantino.
No, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained. He did it in both.
I'm just saying.
He literally wrote characters like I can get away with this. I'm friends with Samuel Jackson, guys. So I think he needs. If we're going to Tarantino, I think he needs to tone it down with the N-word. It's like I know you're friends with some black people, but you say it too much in your movies, dude. You say it too much.
But
and now he's doing a Charlie Manson movie. God,
I hope. And oh God, who's attached to that now? DiCaprio is attached to that movie now.
He's going to say the N-word
He's going to say so much.
He's going to say it so much.
But I don't want Jordan Peele to do. If he writes a comedy again, I hope he doesn't direct it. Is what I'm saying. I want Jordan Peele to do.
Keep seeing thrillers.
Yeah, I want to see thrillers and dramas
yeah.
and romantic. If he does a comedy, I hope it's like a romantic comedy because I think he could write that.
I think he'd do a good job. I think he's a really smart guy
because he did a really good job with the two characters in Get Out.
Yeah,
you felt their. At the beginning of that film,
honestly,
you felt
totally.
Their connection.
Even though you knew something was going to go wrong with that,
right?
You bought it. You bought it the whole movie. Even like you made so much to the point where you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that clearly something's going to have to change here.
Something tonally will have to change in the film.
Get Out, the horror movie. We go to Lady Bird is a coming of age dramedy. It's not Oscar bait. Three Billboards is a black comedy. Black comedy. Shape of Water is a fantasy romance sci-fi movie.
Yep.
What else do we have in there?
We've talked about everything.
Phantom Thread is an art film.
We talked about Call Me by Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk.
Now, Call Me by Your Name is a coming of age romance movie. Right. It's not anything. It's not anything too original, but it's also not Oscar bait in the slightest. Not even close. So you have with just Get Out and The Shape of Water being nominated for Best Picture is like groundbreaking.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anything like that since. Which this is better than that actually. Avatar and District 9 getting nominated. Which Avatar is not a great movie and District 9 is a great movie. But both of these movies are great and Get Out.
It almost to me, I would want to say that I haven't been more excited about seeing who wins a Best Picture since There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men.
Yeah,
because those movies were almost on par.
Those are movies that you look and they're classics now.
Yeah,
they're considered classics.
You're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm not going to be angry if any of these movies win, other than The Post and Darkest Hour and Dunkirk. But if any of the rest of those, if any of those 9 movies, if those 3 win, I'm going to be like, well, apparently they saw something we didn't. But if Billboards or Shape of Water, Phantom Thread, Lady Bird, Get Out win, or Call Me by Your Name win, I'll just be
all right.
I would be ecstatic. I would be angry.
If Lady Bird, Get Out, Shape of Water, 3 Billboards won, I'd be like, yep, it's up in the air. Whatever one you want to go by.
Yep.
If the other one's Call Me by Your Name, one, I'd be like, it's a good movie. Dunkirk won, I'd be like, no.
I wouldn't even be angry if Phantom Thread won. I wouldn't
be
angry.
I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, it would be that out of left field type, like one with, oh God, what one,
Birdman.
What?
Won
No.
one year.
Yeah, that one, but, what was the movie? The Ben Affleck movie that won?
Yeah, Argo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
Me and you were sitting on the couch and it was announced, and we were on Twitter like going by what, and you were like, "What?"
I didn't think it was deserving at all to win that, but I like Argo. I just thought it.
I'm just saying, like that out of field movie.
I didn't hate that it won. But I think gone are the days where movies like The King's Speech are the big front runner.
God!
Now we got cool and fun, interesting movies. And I think, like years ago, like it would have been Darkest Hour, or The Post, or But now we got Shape of Water as like a front runner.
Well, more movies now are trying to become more art films than they are Oscar bait.
Yeah, which is good.
They're not period pieces. I'm shocked The Beguiled didn't get nominated. I'm not even kidding. I'm not joking.
It had no momentum when it came out.
Right.
Nobody watched it.
But I'm just saying,
it came out at a bad. Maybe if it would have came out in November.
Yeah,
The Beguiled was awesome. I love it.
It is, but I'm saying like it's a period piece film,
woman power movie.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm shocked it didn't get nominated.
I think Phantom Thread takes the place of that because they're similar, like peace movies, kind of.
But
they're not. They take place at different times, but it's still. But.
What's going to win?
No, let's talk about snubs first.
Oh, okay.
Because there's some snubs in here.
I know. War for the Planet of the Apes.
Nah, that was unrealistic. That's not a snub because that was unrealistic. It was never going to get nominated. But there's that 10th spot. They keep open. They've only used it a couple times, and they didn't use it this year. And
they didn't put Deadpool in it last year. That's for sure.
It didn't deserve it. Yeah, it deserved the best adapted screenplay, though. I thought. But there's a couple of movies here that people are kind of surprised, and no, not Wonder Woman. A lot of people complain about that. Wonder Woman's fine, but no, it did not deserve.
Alien Covenant.
Alien Covenant deserved to get it, but no. There's a couple movies here, especially a movie that I predicted was going to get nominated because it had a lot of momentum behind it, considering that it had two actors that were definitely going to get nominated, and they did, and that was I, Tonya. I was like, I, Tonya. At first, I was like, this movie is not going to get anything. Then the momentum picked up for him. People are watching it now. So I was like, yeah, that's going to win. Then I was like, you can't have two dark comedies get nominated because that's just unrealistic. Maybe one day. So Three Billboards is the overpowering dark comedy. So they couldn't nominate I, Tonya. And another movie that a lot of people are calling snub on is that movie I talked to you about the other day called The Florida Project with William Dafoe, which has the worst final 30 seconds of any movie I've ever seen.
47 Meters Down.
47 Meters Down...
should have been nominated.
Clearly should have got nominated for this. Obviously. Clearly. I just wish animated movies would get nominated for Best Picture.
I know, because Coco would be nominated.
Because Coco would
have been nominated.
Coco, clearly. And they've only done it a few times with Beauty and the Beast, Toy Story 3, and Up. I think those are the only three animated movies to ever get nominated for Best Picture. But they're just scared because I don't think they look at animated movies as real movies. But those are I, Tonya and The Florida Project are the two biggest snubs probably.
I'd almost put Wind River in with that. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, it just had no momentum when it came out.
And you know what movie? You know what movie I think got seriously snubbed out of at least one category? At least one.
What?
It Comes at Night.
I totally agree.
Snubbed out of cinematography, visual effect, something.
And it's not something. It's not like they didn't try. They sent out screeners of It Comes at Night to Academy voters. They just probably didn't watch it.
My God, movie.
They probably saw the cover and was like, I'm not going to watch this.
And I know people that, if people are listening to this right now, they just turned it off because we just talked about how good Mother was.
Talked about how good Mother is. It Comes at Night.
We like art films,
these
are
great movies. And it's not even like It Comes at Night as an art film. It's just the
way it's shot.
It's a standard thriller. It's just very good. But
our cat is outside having a moment of clarity.
Before we
and you know what else? You know what? Another movie I'm kind of shocked didn't get nominated for something.
What?
Detroit.
Yeah,
I'm shocked Detroit didn't get something.
I think that might have been the movie that tipped over the. You had movies you had movies over the past 12 Years a Slave and Selma, and Detroit became the horror movie out of all those.
Yeah,
and everybody's like, this is probably too much.
See, again, it's like we were talking about before. Right place. Wrong time.
Even though I think Detroit is way better than all those movies. I love Detroit. And they weren't going to nominate Will Poulter for anything, even though he might have deserved They're like, it's like, no, like that character is not going to get nominated for an Oscar, sir. I know he was great, but we're not going to nominate that monster of a character today. I was like, I get that. But let's, before we say who's going to win, what do you think is the best picture out of all these?
The best picture out of all of them?
Yeah.
Do you want the best picture or my favorite?
Let's get both.
Okay. The best one out of all of them? 3 Billboards, no question.
I agree.
The best, now my favorite? Shape of Water. I really loved that movie. I wanted to see it the moment I saw the trailer. What was it? 7-8 months ago, the trailer dropped for that movie.
Yeah, probably in the
roughly.
summer, yeah.
And we were in the theater when it come up, and I was just like, we have to see that. Yeah. So I'm not a huge fan of fantasy films, but I love Pan's Labyrinth. I love like those type of movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that to me was like, it was one of those films where you could sit down, watch it, and be like, you know what? I could believe that. If it was truthful, I could believe it.
It's a movie that's not lost in it doesn't get lost in its own fantasy. It still feels grounded somewhat.
It stays very grounded.
Yeah, it feels somewhat grounded.
And Sally Hawkins
with the exception
is
of that
amazing.
stupid scene in the middle that's the worst scene ever in any movie.
I know, right? The one that comes out of left field that's just so...
I think it's lovely.
Yeah,
I think
it's great.
But
Sally Hawkins and Richard Jenkins and just...
Michael Stuhlbarg.
Yeah, and Del Toro, just that's like a winning combination in that, and it showed.
Great. It's very good.
It showed.
So, you think 3 Billboards
I
is
think
the best?
3 Billboards will win. Yeah.
You think and you also think it's the best. And,
yeah.
But Shape of Water is your favorite.
Yep.
So you just did your 3 there.
Yep.
I think...
But again, but just to clarify, if I'm going to sit down and watch a movie, like we were talking about before, it would be 3 Billboards or Shape or... Lady Bird or Get Out, something like that.
I think the best is 3 Billboards also. And I also think 3 Billboards is going to win. Mm-hmm. But my favorite is Lady Bird. I just think it's so lean. It's so short and it's such a tight script. It's seriously like 88, 90 minutes long. I've watched it 3 times now, and it's a very easy movie to get through, and there's stuff that affects me every time, and it might not affect other people, but there's just certain things. And Lady Bird's kind of a pain, but... she's a 17-year-old girl, and her mom's kind of a pain, but she's dealing with a 17-year-old girl, and I think you'd be surprised by how well the time period that is technically a period piece that takes place in 2001, 2002, or 2002, 2003, and how well it depicts that time period that wasn't that long ago. Yeah. And I don't know, it struck a chord with me for whatever reason. And the soundtrack and everything's just so good. I think it's my favorite, and it's almost the best. But I think 3 Billboards is overall the best. And I think it'll win. What I think the case is here is that since Mark McDonagh didn't get nominated, Del Toro, they'll split.
Yeah.
They'll give Del Toro the best director, and they'll give 3 Billboards the best picture. Mm-hmm. But if you could take out one and put in one, what would you do?
I would take out Dunkirk, of course. Because, but here's why.
It's just not an emotional experience.
Here's why.
Yeah.
It's a story. It's a story thing.
It's not. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Call Me by Your Name seems like it has a story. Darkest Hour
not
has
really. Call Me by Your Name doesn't really have much of a story.
But it's the overall.
But it does have an actual overall feel, and you feel for the characters.
Okay. So Darkest Hour has a story. It's a biopic.
Yeah, clearly. That's probably the better Dunkirk movie. Probably is Darkest Hour.
Yeah.
Like, I know they both. Apparently, they're good companion pieces with each other.
Get Out's amazing. Lady Bird has a plot and a story arc. Phantom Thread, the second half of that film, once it gets going, it does
have a story.
The Post is Spotlight Light, Crystal Light, Spotlight. You know what I mean? Shape of Water is amazing. The underlying talking about the underlying tones to Shape of Water. And the overall message of that movie.
Shape of Water deals with outcasts. It deals with racism. It deals with homophobia. Yep. Like it's very
acceptance.
Good. It kind of does it all. It might win Best Picture.
You see what I'm saying?
Now that I think about all the things that it does.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I meant.
I still think 3 Billboards is going to win.
And then 3 Billboards is just perfect. Yeah. So, but I would take out Dunkirk just for the simple fact that I feel it's just a visual experience, and that's it.
There's nothing else to it. Really.
There's no substance.
Very impressive, but I'm not going to sit down and watch that movie ever. And I thought maybe it was just me the first time, because we sat kind of close to the screen. I was like, it was kind of hard to get impact by all the stuff that's happening. Then I sit way far back the second time.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, I'm still kind of bored by this. But there's still some scenes that are amazing. It's just, it's like a B movie. I mean, not a B movie as in like a horror movie from the early 50s. I literally give the movie like a B.
Yeah.
Is what I give it.
I take out Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I put in Wind River. I'm not even kidding. I
That's not crazy.
absolutely loved that film. It was
That was
if it wasn't for Shape of Water and Three Billboards, it probably would have been my favorite.
James
movie last
Gunn's
year.
favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
Director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, if had it not been for Shape of Water and Three Billboards, to me being absolutely just two perfect films, Wind River would have been my favorite movie of last year.
I'd take out Dunkirk as well, and I know you if you're looking at my list of best movies, like obviously the next one I'd put in would be like Apes or something like that. But no, I'm going with Blade Runner 24.
Colossal.
Blade Runner. Hey, Colossal is amazing, but it just
I can't argue Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, because it got a lot of technical awards, and it would have been nice for it to get that big award also, that big nominee. I've already said everything I need to say about Blade Runner. I just think it was the most visual appeasing movie of the year, and it was the best theatrical experience you could have in a movie theater this year, and I didn't think it was boring one bit. I'd put that in, or The Big Sick. I'd put in because there was talks of The Big Sick maybe getting nominated there for a while, but I was like, it's a comedy.
Gotta have the post.
You can't nominate comedies for like actual Lady Bird has some funny moments, and Three Billboards has some funny moments, but like Big Sick is basically a comedy. It's a romantic comedy. It's a romantic comedy. These other movies are dramas disguised as that like to have a few laughs in them. But I wouldn't mind to see The Big Sick. But if I had to pick one, it would be Blade Runner 2049 because it was amazing, and it should win everything. If Dunkirk beats it at all those technical awards, I will be upset because Blade Runner is a more impressive movie in every shape or form. Has characters, has story, has better effects. Better direction. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Nolan kids.
No, you're not sorry.
Denis Villeneuve's just movie is better than Nolan.
So I'm assuming we're going to have a reaction video when we actually watch the Oscars, right?
I don't know. I would like to do a live.
You suck.
I would like to do a live show, but that might be.
It's doable.
It's in March. We could
doable.
Work it up. Maybe
we
have
can get
maybe
that
have video
situated.
by then. Maybe have a better video situation, but I think that's everything we covered.
Everything.
Actually, there's one little thing I wanted to cover because I said what I was going to earlier, but it's literally just me calling out the Oscars for their bogusness, and that is the best animated feature. And clearly, none of those people watched any of those movies. None of them watched it.
Oh God!
None of them watched it. Well, obviously, they're all just there. They're all
best animated feature: The Boss Baby, The Breadwinner, Coco, and Loving Vincent.
You didn't say Ferdinand.
Yeah, I kind of looked over it. Ferdinand, sorry.
So all the movies that would have got nominated are there. All the movies that would have got nominated, regardless, are there to lose to Coco. But still, like Boss Baby and Ferdinand got nominated.
Wait a minute. Wait. The Netflix movie. Is it The Little Prince?
That came out. That came out the year before.
Oh, so it came out in 2016.
That also didn't get nominated when it came out, which it should have.
Then I rest my case. Then I need to say nothing.
The
else.
Oscars just hate Legos because Lego Batman clearly should have got nominated, and Lego Movie got snubbed the year it was nominated, the year that it came out. So clearly that's a category that I'm probably just going to turn off the TV when they're announcing because we all know Coco's good. Actually, no, I'll watch the speech for Coco, but I just hate seeing that Ferdinand and Boss Baby got nominated.
Well,
it's bogus. And even over Captain Underpants.
That's what I was going to say. Captain Underpants was great.
I love Captain Underpants, man. I like Captain Underpants more than Dunkirk.
Well, I mean, Captain Underpants has a little more substance.
Hey, man, Captain Underpants has some heart, and man. That friendship, and it's funny. That's all I'll get out of. But I didn't want to
get out. Get it.
I didn't want to spend too much time on that. I just want to talk about how that was bogus.
It is bogus.
So that's going to wrap up the show, I think.
Yeah, I'm good. If you're good,
I'm good. I think we talked about everything and more than we needed to. So that's a good first show of the modern day masterpiece show, I guess, is what we're going with.
Sure.
That's the name
Oscar Talk.
That's the name of the channel. Oscar Talk. Controversy. James Franco and
stuff.
Kevin Spacey was the name of the episode. But
hey, Kevin Spacey, you suck
if
because you ruined everything Baby Driver might have had.
If you
Thanks.
listen to / watch this on YouTube and you liked what you heard, please subscribe, tell people about it, comment,
like and share the video.
Sure, comment what you thought was snubbed and like your predictions and some movies you would have liked to see get nominated and stuff. If I do post this on Facebook, do the same. I guess you can't really.
And if you have an idea for a future episode, leave it in the comments. We might do it.
Yeah, this was sort of an easy one because the Oscars just came out, so we just sort of rolled with it. It wasn't unique in any way, but we just wanted to try it out, and we were amazing, obviously. But yeah, again, thank you for listening. Eventually, we will have video. Hope you enjoyed our little
rant and rave,
and also our little visual cues that I'm clearly going to edit in.
Yay!
Pictures and whatnot, but. That's post. That's later.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched Girls Trip, watch Girls Trip.
Girls Trip was good.
Very underrated comedy.
It would have been crazy if Tiffany Haddish would have gotten nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
So, I was going to say that, but I kind of lead away from it just a little bit.
Holly Hunter,
and watch Wish Upon too, just for the laughs.
Holly Hunter, get together with a group of friends and watch Wish Upon. It's the new The Room, I think.
I can almost agree with that.
We're signing out yet again. Thank you, and any last words for you, Josh?
Nope.
No last words. Thank you for watching.